All right, everybody. Today on the podcast, I am so excited for our new guest. And I'm going to let her do her fancy bio. Tell a little bit about yourself. So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. I'm Gabby. I'm currently based in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I travel all over. So Charlotte may not be the only place where you see me around. I'm a creative that specializes in nail artistry, content creation, beauty imagery, all the things. I love to create vibrant concepts that connect with other beauty enthusiasts and clientele to celebrate real emotions. And also with nails.
I love it.
Yeah. So that's me.
That's you. And I love your background. We see all of the colors. I'm like, I always gravitate towards a neon, which maybe on point, may not be on point. You're gonna tell me.
So many.
So fun. It's like a little workshop there that you've got going on. But yes, so you specialize in content creation, beauty imagery, like you mentioned, and are a nail technician.
Yes.
And I want to get into a little bit about you, your industry background. I know that you've been in the industry for a little over 10 years. Do I have that right?
No. Okay. So I've been in the industry for almost 4, but I've always been a nail artist.
Okay.
Well, I've always been an artist. Let me say that. I've always been an artist. I've always played around with my nails, but officially nail artist, like as a nail technician, going on 4 years. Yes.
All right. Amazing. So obviously you were experimenting on your own before. Tell me about why you were interested in nails and nail art at a young age and how it brought you to where you are today.
So I think, for the ones that like have started getting nails like very young, my mom always pampered herself and she always got her nails and toes done. So I was always with my mom and I would sit right down there, and put my hands out like, what about me, So I always got my nails painted and things like that and got like little designs of my nails like way back when. I actually could not have, there was a rule in my house where I could not have any nail extensions until I was out of my mom's house. So could not wait for the day.
Okay, and what was the rule based on? The upkeep? Just like it was a rite of passage?
No, I have no idea. Even for prom, like my natural nails had to be painted, and I have very small nail beds, and so it was like little baby nail beds. Like, no, I just want like something like classy, and I'm seeing all the other girls like with their French manicures and stuff like that, for like all the formal dances. Me, nope, just chip polish, whatever, it's fine. But I did play 3 sports and like all throughout school. So I was very active, but I was always creative and I was always an artist. And so, any way that I could really express myself, whether it be through clothes or my room, things like that, like I always wanted to do. But I don't know what it was. And I think my mom told me one day that she got acrylic nails and had an allergic reaction. And from then on, she never had nails. And so she was scared for me. That could be it. However, I was willing to risk it all. Okay.
And did you ever look back like since the day, or is it hard now to have nail extensions on and be so intricate in your designs?
So right now I don't have any on, and this is the only time like you'll catch me like with them off, which is it's insane. So when I actually started I do work with nails, and I usually have extra long nails, like all the things.
No way.
Yeah, and I work with nails. But like the wild thing is I went and completed nails technician school with nails on, and they did not recommend that. And I was like, well, listen, just because I'm the nail tech does not mean that, everybody else gets the nails and I don't get the nails. So I learned how to do nails, all the things with my nail extensions. And so here we are. My first set was when I was 19. I just turned 29 the end of January. So I just celebrated my 29th and my 10-year nail anniversary.
You may be the only person I've ever known to have a nail anniversary.
I have a nail anniversary. Okay. It was my 19th birthday. and I did a Disney college internship when I was in college my freshman year. And when I got to Orlando, put all of my stuff in my room, told my mom, bye, if you want to stay here, you can. She's like, where are you going? You're going to get something to eat? Like, I want to go. And I said, I'm going to the nail salon. I'm marching over there and I'm getting a full set.
Yes.
And I did. I've had nails ever since.
And you did it. This is so good. This is like you were meant to be where you are right now.
Yes. And so with the artistry background and then with the nails, when it merged together, here we are. And it's great. It's absolutely great. I love it.
So you caught our eye initially, certainly because of your great work, but also because of your content creation skills. And I think that really marries your artistic background, your creative background, and you really took that with your social and kind of ran with it. So, you know, for any nail technicians out there, nail professionals struggling with content creation for social, tell us about your strategy behind that. Like, where did you get your inspiration from? Because it's good. It's good.
Thank you. So, you know, I have redone my page over and over and over again, you know, because you look at it and it's yours, it's your baby. You're like, what do I want people to see? What do I like? I love all things like architecture. I love all things fabric patterns, you know, even things like outside of nails, of course, and love graphic design. I love typography. I was one of those people who my favorite time of the school year was the beginning of the year. And it wasn't because of the people, it wasn't because of the classes, anything like that, or like the new clothes. It was so that I could go school supply shopping. I wanted to go down the aisle with all the brand new pens and all the brand new Sharpies and stuff. And I just wanted to be submerged. I was like, oh, okay. Yes. I want all the brand new sticky notes. I want all the colors, like kind of how I like lay everything out, you know, like back behind me and stuff like that. Like that's, you know, just the, that's my favorite thing. And so with my content creation, I've always tried to figure out, okay, how do I show nails with showing my personality, right? Because social media changes every day. You know, it's like post a reel. And I'm not getting ready to break it down into a dance anywhere for anyone. So, post a reel. You know, we want to know more about you. Like, you know, we never get to see your face. Like, you know, we don't know like your personality. And the most recent rebrand, and I think that's what you're talking about, is where I said, you know, we're going to get to know me. And so I archived so many nail photos. And I bought myself a Canon camera, bought myself like professional lighting, and I have it at my apartment. And I never did anything with it. And I'm like, oh, like, I know what I want to do. Like, I have an idea, things like that. So last year I actually had a stroke.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
oh, wow. So, I'm very sorry to hear that. Whoa.
No, it's okay. But this plays into the story. No
worries. Okay.
I had a stroke, and it was scary. It was weird feeling. I couldn't work, and that is really what I was on edge, and I was like, no, like I have to do something. And so I had all of my nail, you know, like supplies and stuff at home. After having like to close down, and whipped out that camera. And I said, well, I'm going to teach myself how to do all the things.
So good.
And I did. So I had a little setup. I had the background, like colors and things like that. And I started making myself press-ons and designing them, things like that. And it's like, you know, what are some things that all nail techs alike, or all like beauty providers like alike, have in common? You know, like, what do we hate, or what do we want to talk about? Or like, what are some funny things that, you know, we all have in common, no matter if you are in front of a hairstylist or in front of a barber, in front of another nail tech. And so I started to make the content like that. And that's kind of where it took off.
Wow.
So it was a way for me to still be around the community while I was recovering, and to kind of have like my therapy and, you know, frustration kind of let out.
Yeah.
So that's where that actually came
Wow.
about. So
I mean,
yeah.
that's incredible because my next question was just like scrolling through your feed, like
Yeah.
who the heck's hands were these in all of them? And they were you
Mine,
with
yeah.
press-ons that you
Yep.
did.
Yep.
My
I was
favorite
home.
is the orange nails that says your nails aren't can openers because we've all been there. Like,
Well, I'm in there.
there goes
Yep.
the nail.
Yep. There's like so many ideas that I have, and now that I'm back at work, it's kind of like slowed down, but I have like so many ideas and so many unedited pictures that I haven't even gotten to edit yet to post. So there's
Yeah.
more on the way coming.
Oh,
But yeah, it's just, like little things like that, right? That like we
right.
always tell our clients to be like, they're jewels, not tools. And they're like, yeah, great. Yeah, no, I know. And
Mhm.
then when you come in, they're like, I don't know what happened. It's like,
Yeah.
sure,
Tool.
sure. So
You're
yeah,
using it as a tool.
exactly. So that was like, one of the things, like your nails are not a can opener. So
It's
yeah, it's
good.
just
I
like little
mean,
things like that.
okay, so then did your feed really start taking off in like your follower base when you were developing this content, or did you have a pretty solid base before then?
I had a pretty solid base before.
Okay.
And I had so many more pictures before, and I just
Right.
archived them all is
Yeah.
because it's like, you know what? This is what I want to do. And it was a lot of like trendy stuff that I did before. I even archived my most viral
Oh,
posts. Yeah, all
brave.
of it. Yeah,
Brave.
I mean, I would have like 60,000 likes on a photo, and I was like, archive,
Ooh,
because it was just like, it was like before COVID, it was like 2019. And I'm like, you know what? Times are, it's different.
yeah.
And this is kind of where I wanted to pivot and to do these things. So I think I have gotten even more of a following, because of
Okay.
this. And I've been
Mhm.
posted on like different um, platforms, things like that, like because of it, but it makes me feel good, not for the popularity of it, but because I know I'm resonating with other people. And it
Yeah.
may not be like, hey, like I'm trying to make a new trend, like, oh, euphoria nails or something like that. Those things are great, you know what I mean? But it doesn't necessarily work with everybody. And I think with me now, what's meaningful to me is people resonating with my content, and we're actually having a conversation about it, like in like the comments, things like that. Like there was one about tipping.
Yeah.
And for service providers, we see things one way, and clientele may see things another way, or they may
Yeah.
not understand why certain providers say, you know, I prefer this as a tip, or, this is the standard, whether you go out to eat or whether you're getting a beauty service done, whatever, what have you. And it was a way for other providers, other beauty providers to get in the comments, and have that conversation and kind of tell their story. And then people who aren't even their clientele, but just consumers, overall, look and read and say, oh, I actually never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Thank you, like for saying this. And it's all because I made a post that kind of ruffled some feathers, but it got people to have a conversation. And that is more meaningful to me than a post that gets a couple thousand likes or a couple hundred
Sure.
likes or something like that, But
Right.
all around, I'm still post wise, photo wise, I'm still including my industry and the nail artistry of it, but as a whole. So,
Yeah.
a different outlook that, yeah, I haven't
I
seen
love
around
that though.
in the industry. Yeah.
I mean, that it's not just a beautiful nail pick that's in the feed or
Mhm.
in the, yeah, that you get fed as consumers, right?
Right.
So, okay, drilling a little bit down on the tip conversation, tell
Mhm.
me about what your philosophy is.
I have a few
Okay.
philosophies, honestly. I have worked in food and bev, like food and bev industry. I've been a server, I've been a bartender, I've done it all. I've worked retail, I've worked corporate. I used to work for NASCAR,
Oh, wow.
corporate. So
Mhm.
I've done just about any and everything before I had my own business. If I was still a server, and even when I'm not, me personally, if I don't have the money to at least give them 20%, I won't go out to go eat. That's not everybody. That's just me.
Okay.
I've been there before.
Mhm.
In North Carolina, you get paid $2.13 as your base. You don't even
Oh.
get paid minimum wage, and you live off of your tips. So depending on where people are in the world, all over the world, the United States, whatever, everything's different, you know? So I can only see it from my lens
Mhm.
and my experience. So that's, again, like, that's just me. As a service provider, when I, became a nail technician and had my own business, on the outside looking in before I was one, I probably thought just like everybody else, oh, well, they make their own rates, they make their own prices, so they must be able to take all of the money home or
Sure.
majority of the money home.
Right.
And now that I'm a service provider, that's definitely not the case.
Totally.
So, and if anything, when you become a service provider, it's funny is because especially when you first start out, you don't even pay yourself. You know, it's like it's years in before you even pay yourself. And you're always reinvesting the money into your business. Of course, you know, like you pay like, you know, your rent or your mortgage if you have one, your car payment, whatever. Other than that, you're not paying yourself a wage
Mhm.
and a rate, you know. And it's always nice when you have clients who understand, who appreciate your artistry and, you
Yes.
know, your professionalism and looking out for them, grabbing them a coffee or having a coffee maker, like I have an espresso maker, you know, or just something like that, you know. Tips are always nice. And so if you can, I mean, anything helps, you know, like to me, 20%, I would say that from, you know, people I know is standard. So that'd be great. I don't get upset if it's less than 20% or whatever, and it's like something extra because you don't know people's pockets. You don't know what their financial situation is. And I'm not gonna stand here and count anybody else's pockets. You know, sometimes people, they're happy enough just to sit in your chair, you know, so I get it. I'm a little bit more like lenient, but I know other beauty professionals, individuals that it doesn't matter. They're just like, I can't believe like this person didn't tip me, or I can't believe this, that, whatever. But I also believe in the same sense that in a client standpoint, I wouldn't go to a provider and expect them to go beyond, above and beyond for me. And I never tip them, not once, you know, and I want them to be so lenient with me, like, hey, instead of, I know you have a 10-15 minute policy, but I'm going to be 45 minutes late. Don't cancel me. I can see, you know, somebody being lenient if they tipped and they, you know, took care of you, then you take care of them.
Yep.
You know, and it's a, you know, give and take that way. But if not, then it's like, I'm not coming in on my day off. I'm not, you know.
Yeah. It's a give
Doing
and
an
take.
after hours
Sure.
report. Yeah. So, you know, it's just like things like that. And it just like depends, but you know,
No,
it's
that makes
different
total sense.
wherever you are, you know what I mean? So it's just
Yeah.
like, you know, well, it's
Yeah,
the
I feel
world. The
like
world's
with my
changing.
nail technician, I have that same kind of relationship. It's like I tip
Yeah.
really well because I'm in the industry. So,
Yeah.
and then she'll text me and be like, hey, want to come 10 minutes early? Or, hey, I have something opening up. I know that you wanted to come in. So there's like that relationship and that
Right.
give and take.
Absolutely.
This is a mutual respect, right? It's like I respect her
Absolutely.
time and her skills and abilities, certainly. So, yeah.
Right. And as providers, we respect, you know, you guys' time as well, you know, like as our clients, is because I've known many horror stories where people have made appointments and they're not seen until an hour, 30 minutes after, you know, 2 hours, you know, that they made their appointment. And when you make your appointment, I make sure that I am ready and all set for you, you know, like this is your time. You have my undivided attention and it's not going to anybody else, you know? So absolutely. Mutual respect.
That is kind of interesting. And there can be salons or kind of in a reputation of like, yeah, we'll just take anyone, like come in, it'll be 10 minutes, but you're like, is it going to be 10 minutes?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. And I have clients who, you know, are business owners themselves or their parents or, you know, they're working and this is their break.
Right.
And, you know, so it's just like, I'm respectful of your time. Just like I want you to be respectful of mine and so on. So
totally.
yeah.
So you know, you have such incredible design and artistry. I mean, I think your nails are not for like the everyday, right? Consumer. I mean, this
It can
definitely
be.
elevated a couple notches. But
It
tell
can
me
be.
about
I
like
can do both.
what you can do. I'm sure you can. What is the significance of like the detailed artwork and artistry for you? Like, do you feel, did you always set out to kind of, you know, do something that's more elevated from like a trend perspective? I'd love your thoughts on that.
No, okay. So the way that I think of the nails that I like and the nails that I do, I want you to be a walking canvas.
I like
In
it.
a sense, you know, you love
Mhm.
Warhol, cool. Let's do it. Let's put it on your nails and let's be a walking canvas. Let's be, you know, one thing that makes me cringe is when you can go somewhere and somebody's like, "Oh, I love your nails. I just had that last week."
Not happening. Not happening for
First
you.
of all, my heart would drop, and I've heard it before, and I'm just like, I can't believe, you know, or people are like, "Oh my God, we're twins," and it's like, no, no. And me, I'm just like, no, I can't. Now,
Okay.
if we have like the same color, fine, but you know, if it's just like one like solid color, okay, fine. You know, you have white toast, so does like 50 other people.
Right,
Fine.
right.
There's other colors, you know, like you don't just have to have white toast, but that's a whole nother story. Anyways. But so I guess I can explain it in this way, and maybe it'll make a little bit more sense. Sorry, I
Okay.
know it's loud in the back. So the name Trilla Nails, right?
Yeah.
Trilla is like a kind of a urban word for true and real. You listen to like a lot of songs, stuff like that, kind of like the street name of like Trill
Okay.
or like Trilla is like true and real put together,
Okay.
Trilla, right?
Got
So
it.
I came up with that name to like stay true, to remind myself to stay true and real to myself. I want my clients to do that like for themselves. So, you know, and so on. There's when I was coming up with my name, there was like things like Gabby nailed it or nails by Gabby. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cute, but like it's so cookie cutter. It's so
Yeah.
like and it wasn't me, you know, and I wanted to stay like real to myself. I'm like, I would change my name every year if that's what I had to do. And I was like, that's not me. Like I can't do it. So I had the name and I had never like heard anybody else, you know, like to have it. And I was like, cool, like that's what it is. And it's a reminder, you know, like for
Mhm.
myself. And so it's like, okay, Gabby, what would you like on your nails and what um you know, what would make you stand out? And that's what I want for my clients. And that's
Yeah.
what I want just you know, like for me too, and to kind of let them know like, hey, this is the place where I want you to express yourself and I'm going to help you.
That's
There's so
awesome.
many times where I have like clients, they're like, hey, I love everything you do, but you scare me. And I'm like, that's so great. I'm like,
Isn't
that
that
is
a
so
compliment?
great.
Is
Yeah,
that,
it is. I'm
that's
like, that is
amazing.
so
Yes.
great. They're like, I think you're amazing. You absolutely scare me. And I'm here. And I don't know why I'm here, but I've been following you for a long time. And like, I
Okay.
don't know what, but like my favorite colors are beige, mauve, and like a lighter beige. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So I have those, but we're not going to use those today. So keep telling me about yourself and then we're going to pull it out of you, you know?
So
And
good.
we go for it every time. And I have had clients where they've been with me for a year, 2 years, you know, 3 years now. And I find their first like photos, like when we first, you know, have our first appointment to
Yeah.
now. And they're like, ew, whose nails are that? Like, whose nails, you know, whose nails are those? Excuse me. And I'm like, that's you years ago. And they're like, I can't even
Like
imagine doing that
I've
now, you
evolved,
know?
right? Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like to help people evolve and to really show their personality through nails.
Yeah. I
And
love
I
that.
think that that's great. And we don't have to minimize what we like or to express ourselves any less just because, oh yeah, I'm getting like nails done, whatever, you know. And that's what I said, like it takes however long it takes, is because we really are creating masterpieces on
Yeah.
nails. You know, you love
Oh,
cartoon characters, things like that. We can put logos on there, you know, and they're all by hand, they're not stickers.
yeah.
So um it's just like, it's one of a kind. It hurts every time, you know, like drilling the gel off. You're like, oh, like, I can't, can we save these? And it's like, you can't, but it's
Oh, just to
right.
go
Like,
right over those puppies. Oh,
yeah, just to go right over. So, you know, it's staying true and real to myself, and
that.
making sure that, hey, like when you come here, I think people get that. Like when they come to me, they know they're going to get one of a kind nails as much as possible.
Yeah.
And of course, there's some times where you're like, I want this set and I want it now, and I can't think of anything else, you know, and it'll be like a trendy thing.
Yeah.
But there's been a time where I started a trend on Instagram and Pinterest and stuff like that. When we had like the 90s nails and stuff, that was me. So,
That's
you
awesome.
know,
I
it's
love
like,
it.
yeah, I still have people to, you know, like tag me and like the 90s nail art styles.
Oh,
And they're like, oh,
really?
I got this from you from like years ago. And it's like, it's great, you know what I mean? But like for me, it's like, cool, it's evolved. So
I love that.
great,
Okay,
yeah.
so from a brand perspective, you know, I saw your post educating on nude colors. I said that wrong.
Yes. Yes.
Talk to us about how brands can be better supporters of all consumers out there. Are there brands that are doing a great job at this? Are there favorites of yours?
Brands are doing a better job of this. The gel bottle is doing a great job.
Okay.
I would say they're like really the first ones that came out with
Okay.
a plethora of colors that could really go with any skin tone. So huge shout out to the gel bottle. I'm sure there's other brands. That's like probably one of my favorites.
Okay.
That I know that you can match any color.
Got it.
As far as like a neutral goes. So nude, right?
Yeah.
Nude is this word that I don't know where we got it from, but
Right.
for so many years, nude has been pink, like a sheer pink or a neutral pink. And it's like, neutral to who?
Exactly.
Pink is not everyone's undertone.
Neutral.
Right. And it's like, okay, no, like think of it as like a lipstick, right? Like you can't say, oh, I want a new lipstick, and then we put on the same exact color lipstick and it looks completely different. Same thing for your nails, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So not everybody's neutral or nude is going to be you know, a pink tone or you know, a sheer white, things like that. There's people of color, there's people, we're all shades, right? Like we're all different shades. Like think of makeup, like foundation, right? It was big when Rihanna, you know, like did like her Fenty line, is because she had shades from like the whitest of the white shade to the darkest of the dark and everything in between. Orange undertones, brown undertones, blue undertones, purple, pink, you know, just all the undertones. And so it's the same thing when it comes to the nail industry.
Yeah.
You know, we need more nudes, if you will, or more neutral tones. And it all depends. You can't just have one or two in your arsenal because you don't know who's coming to sit in your chair, what their undertones are going to be. And so that's what I meant like with that post, is because when you say nude and you're, you know, you're a brand and you want to connect with all these people, well, guess what? They're not connecting with you, you know, like they're not using your products and things like that, is because they can't find anything for themselves.
Right.
100%. You know, and they want to, they're like, oh, I love that, but I need that where it suits me. Right. So for me, I have a darker skin tone. So my neutral or nude is going to be darker than maybe yours, you know what I mean? But when we're, you know, say we're somewhere corporate and they say we have to wear a nude, well, if a light brown or something like that is a neutral for me, is a nude for me, you can't say, well, that's not nude, because it is. True. It's nude for me. So I think that we're growing into understanding that, but it's taken a long time.
It's taken a really long time.
Yeah, it's taken a really long time. And I don't think that it should have to take so long, is because as a nail technician, I'm still a consumer, right? Like I have people who are consumers for me, but I'm also a consumer. And so I want to provide the very best. And I want to be able to include anybody that wants to come to me, right? I want to have colors that complement your skin tones, whether it be something neon or whether it be a pink and stuff like that. You can't just have one red and think that it's going to suit everybody, right?
Yeah.
There's different undertones of red. There's more bluer reds, there's more orangier reds, you know, and it works for everybody. You can have a red, and I want to make sure that I have something for you when you get here. When you sit down with me, I don't want you to feel like, you know, I love this, but it's just, it doesn't look right on me. And I want people, you know, even the ones that don't come to me, whether you're sitting in somebody else's chair, I never want anybody to feel like, I love this, but I can never get it because it doesn't work for me. It doesn't look good on me. No, because guess what? We're going to find something that you love, not like, but that you love. What color do you want? Great, because I have so many hues of this color. We're going to find the perfect one for you, and you're going to love it.
That's great. And I love the thoughtfulness in that, you know.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah, just that you are going so many steps further into like thinking about the undertones of specific colors and how it would match with the skin tone or not. It goes back to your
artists for
Sharpie days.
everybody. Yeah, like he does, right? Crayola, all the things, you know. But it's more of like inclusion. And I think about, and it comes natural to me is because I am a person of color, and even in this industry, it's very hard, you know, and you see the differences and things, and you're like, oh, you know,
yeah.
But I never want somebody to feel out of place. Like, yeah, I might scare you, you know, it's because I'm out there with color and I want to use color and I want to do all these things. And you're like, what? Like, I can't, you know, I won't be able to pull that off. Yes, you can. And even if you don't, that's why I said, like, I could do both. Even if you come in and you're just wanting like one color, right? Because like plain colors, I love that neon that you have on your nails right now. Yes, I love that. I peeped that yesterday. But yeah, and it's just like great, you know, I have neons too, or I have like something, you have a job interview, that's great. I have something for you, you know, like weddings, what are you wearing? Like, let me see the dress, bring it in, you know, like tell your seamstress to cut off a little piece for me and let's do something, you know. And I've done that before, like plenty of times. So I just feel like I'm not doing enough if I'm not thinking about everyone, even the people that I haven't met yet.
Wow.
Because you never know who is gonna sit down with you. You never know who's looking at you. You never know who has had your photo saved for like 2 years now, who's been waiting for the time that they just have the chance to come and sit in your chair. And I never want them to feel like, oh, well, she didn't have enough, you know, or she didn't have something that suits me.
Right.
I'm going to sit here and we're going to sit here and you're not going to leave until you love it. And that's like one of my mottos, you know. I'm just like, no, I don't want you to like it. I can tell it. It's body language too, right? You know, when somebody's just sitting there, they're like,
yeah, right.
Need to go, grab my purse and go, right? No, like I want you to be like this, like, oh my God, are these my hands? I can't believe, you know, because it can have, you know, like it's for you. And I want you to have that moment and not have anybody else to be able to steal that moment away from you. Not going in the grocery store, going to the mall and saying, oh, I have that too. No, you don't.
No.
And it's exclusive to you, you know, it's like exclusivity, you know, like I think of all of my clients as like celebrities. Like you go, like absolutely, you know, walk out of here and strut back with stride, like you know, like it's just something that I want everyone like to feel, is because when you're done up, when your hair's done, or you know, if lashes are your thing, if your nails are your thing, you know, like you know how like when you get a pedicure and you feel lighter.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's just it's like, you know, like that, and like you feel good about yourself. And we all have sugar honey iced tea, because I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on here, but we all have things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we're going through in life. You never know when somebody is sitting in your chair, what they've gone through, what they're getting ready to go through, you know? So the time that I have, whether I have an hour with you, 2 hours with you, 3 hours with you, we're going to make it the best, time that we have together. I'm getting ready to hold your hand for a couple of hours.
That is
Let's make
so
the best
true.
of it.
There
Yeah.
is I don't mean like a weird intimacy, but you are physically touching someone
Absolutely.
and physically holding their hands.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, how many times a week, a day, a month do you hold hands with someone?
So many times.
You.
Lots of hand holding, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, like just when you're pure and when you have a lot of thoughtfulness with people, they can feel that because it's also like an energy exchange, right?
Yeah.
My client is going through a lot. I feel that during our appointment. It's like, oh my gosh, like, how do I make this person happy? Or you know what? It's a venting session. I'm not only a nail technician, little did I know, I'm also a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a consultant for car mechanics. I'm also, I'm like a dermatologist. I'm like a color matcher for like cosmetics, like I'm the human form of Yelp. I am, I
For
am
sure.
the food guide, the tour guide.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all the things. So
You
you
are.
have to be
I love
together.
It's so good. It's so good. What a cool perspective. So now I want to know your perspective on like, what are some trends you're seeing? Actually, what are some trends you're setting? Like, what's the future? Like, where are you headed in the next couple of months? Like, what are we going to see in our Instagram feed that you've done?
So where am I headed? I honestly want to head into the realm of like bringing some airbrush looks back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's kind of where I'm headed. Also,
right.
more of like fine art nails.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really into that now, and that's gonna be like my thing. I definitely want to incorporate some high art things as well,
Okay.
like Jean-Michel Basquiat,
Uh-huh.
Keith Haring, things like that, like kind of bring it back, a little
Cool.
nostalgia, here and there. And then like get very abstract at the same time, like with some airbrush. I think when we think of airbrush nails, we're thinking way back in the days when we go to the nail salon and like get the one Playboy bunny nail or something like that, or
100%.
like something, and it's like, no, like it's so much more
Butterfly.
than
Oh,
that
yeah.
now.
Right.
Yeah, like it's so much more than that now. And I'm like ready to kind of break that glass ceiling of like what we think, and kind of run with it and see where that takes me. Also, the content, I definitely want to do more of that and like really dig into some topics, that might ruffle feathers, that might make us laugh. Because
But that's good content, right? For you to have a voice and say the things that other people might be too afraid to say, or it's not like commonly discussed, right?
Absolutely, yes. And my goal, I don't know if this is gonna happen, but one of my goals is I've been listening to the people and they've been asking me, we want to know the behind the scenes of things. Now, I take all of my own photos and stuff, and I don't know how I'm going to film that. That would be very interesting.
They want to see like your application, like how from start to finish.
Not even for the nails. They want to see how I take the photos.
Oh.
The production, like all of that. And so, and it's funny is because I will tether my camera to my laptop. And when I have two hands in a photo, I'm actually pressing the shutter button with my toe on my laptop. So
this is so good.
How we're going to be able to film this, but I've been thinking like, okay, I might need a friend to come over and just take my cell phone and kind of show how I do things. Like, don't help me. I'm showing the people how I do this. Like, I'll be like this, and then I'll put my laptop on the ground and I'm looking and I'm like reaching, like
Wow.
Got it, you know? And I
Wow.
take like 100 photos like that to see like, oh, was I in the frame? You know, and I might have two
Right.
photos that are in
Right.
the frame, and we go with one of those. Like, so, but yeah, there's a photo that's that I'm gonna, excuse me, a video that I'm gonna do, and it shows how I make the cakes in like my content photos. So
You
it's
make
like,
those?
oh yeah. For example, there's one for Valentine's Day that says I need money for nails with a cake box.
Uh-huh.
And I made that. It's fake.
Dang.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
You know, so like making your own props, because you know, it may seem like this whole glamorous, you know, life and stuff like that. I am broke just like the next person. You know, I'm like, I'm just like you. You know, like people like look at my wall of polishes and they're like, wow, it's so much. And I'm like, do you know that this is like a down payment on something? Or I could have went into Gucci or like YSL and had a couple. Like, it's just like, oh my gosh, you know? So like everything that I have is, you know, like in here. So
Right.
it's
Right.
my investment. It's my life, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Where do your customer clients come to you from? Is it mostly referral based?
A big part of it is,
Yeah.
other than that, it would be social media.
Okay.
And it's hard. In North Carolina, we're very behind on a lot of things. I'm not originally from North Carolina, but I've been here for way too long. And the trends, like you know, and everything else, it's just so behind
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah. It
like
takes a
even for
while.
like, yeah.
Mhm.
So like I said, I travel a lot, whether it be for work
Oh,
or, you
wow.
know, just for leisure. And California is up to date, New York is up to date, you know, Miami, even Portland, Oregon, up to date. You know, Texas, they're there. North Carolina is it's a bubble here. So it's a
Yeah.
little, you know, frustrating to like get people
Sure.
to step outside of the box, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, here and there, I would definitely say majority of it is either through social media itself or referral based.
Got it. So will you stay in North Carolina? Like, what is your kind of your
I
next
hope not.
evolution?
I don't know, wherever it takes me, honestly. I think what the industry, at least the nail industry, needs more of, um, are like mentors, or like,
Yeah.
if it's not mentors, if that's not the word, I don't know. It's like there's opportunities everywhere. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know
Right.
how to get
Yeah.
there, you know? So I've like thought about editorial, you
Yeah.
know, like nails and stuff like that. I know, I don't know the first thing about doing that. Some people are manicurists and nail artists through an agency.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, agencies will like hire you, and then this is how you do A, B, C, and D. Some
Yeah.
people, they want to be standalone, like how I am
Mhm.
right now. Some people want to be in a salon. Some people just want to travel wherever you are. They just want to travel to you and do like home-based appointments or events, things like that.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
some people want to be educators. I love people. You know, I'm like, I can still do what I do and still, you know, be a speaker or educator
Yeah.
wherever. Some people are like, if I have to talk to more than one person that I'm servicing, I'm gonna shut down.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
there's different, like, you know, ways of doing things in different areas. And so wherever things take me as I evolve and grow in the industry, like I'm there. So I'm
Amazing.
not set on one place.
Yeah. I
I'm
was
just in Charlotte
interesting.
for now.
I was watching looks from the Met Gala, like the behind the scenes and the interviews, and one of them was with Grimes, who is a partner
Soji
of,
does her nails. Yeah, Soji nails. Yep.
right? And I was like,
Hmm.
I rewound it. See how old I am? I played it again. And
Yeah.
I was just looking at her nails. They had big, bright, or big, like clear kind of
It's
orbs
glass.
on them. The glass.
Yes, it's
Oh,
glass. It's glass. So Soji works with, and I hate that I forgot their name. She works with another artist who makes these small, intricate glass pieces. and Soji will put them on nails, and I think it's so unique and
It
it's so
is.
fascinating,
Yes.
and it's brilliant. As soon as you said Grimes, I knew exactly who did her nails. And it's things
Wow.
like that make me excited,
Yeah.
is because it's so distinct, and it's like it's so hard to be replicated,
Right.
and it's like, yes, like
I mean, it's
absolutely.
couture nails for
Mhm.
sure. I mean, it was
Absolutely.
Met Gala. It was a
Hmm.
big part of her look, and it's
Yeah.
such artistry. It's
Mhm.
just wild.
It
And
is.
for me, I feel like over the last handful of years, nail artistry has become so much more mainstream, that people are taking more risks in general. Do you feel that as well from like a trend standpoint?
Yes, but I don't think that we're a trend per se. We've been around for a long time.
Totally.
And we just, it was just like makeup artists, like they were kind of like behind the scenes. But now, like makeup artists are in the forefront and it's not going anywhere. Well,
Yeah.
nails are the same thing. I was just actually talking to one of my clients about this today, and I'm like, I hate when people say, oh, I can't do that. Well, how do you do that? Nobody said that to Daly,
No, they did not.
and Daly's over here playing a whole guitar, like with
Uh-huh.
her long nails. Nobody said that to Cher. And
True.
Cher, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And if you look
Yes.
back, they had
Huh.
the that were going out and like with the designs and everything, and we don't talk about it. And it's just like,
We
you know,
don't.
nail artists have been around for so long. We've been setting trends this entire time, and no one has talked about it.
Right.
And
It's
so
time
I
to come
don't
forward.
think that
Mhm.
by any chance, that we're a trend. We're not falling off. We've been around. We're gonna stay around. But it's like it's about time that we're starting to get our flowers per se.
Agree. I agree.
That we're seen, and here and there. We'll even get credited here and
Right.
there. Not all the time. The nails are always the last to be booked. The nails are always the last to be or the nail artist rather is like the last person, if so, to be credited, like for anything, and so it's just like, well, look at Euphoria,
Totally.
which,
Right.
I'm glad that I want to say the nail technician is Natalie, I'm gonna say, but that now it's a whole thing. Euphoria nails. I
Yeah.
need Euphoria nails. Well, it wasn't even based on the nails. You know what I mean? Like that's something that they probably didn't even think about. But
Yep.
now it's this whole entire thing. Oh, look at Maddie's nails. Oh, now they're paying attention to the nails. Like, okay, what are the nails going to be like next? And it's just
Yep.
like, yeah, it's because we're not in the back anymore. Like, put us where we belong,
I love it.
and
Yes.
like show us off because we're here, and like it would be great. And I think we can all shine, and I know we can. We can be just as great as like the most renowned makeup artists and hairstylists and stuff like that. Yeah, we're
Absolutely.
nail artists, and that's why yeah, nail tech, cool, but it's artistry behind it, and
Yep.
we're not just slapping something on. We are the trends. We are, we're the ones behind the Instagram nails, the Pinterest nails, the,
Yep.
everything.
Mhm.
So I think it's great that we're finally getting recognition, but there's still more work to do.
Yeah. Agree.
And everyone is not up to date on that yet, but we're a force, and we are all sticking together to make sure that people have more respect for nail technicians and nail artists. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
definitely hard,
Yeah.
but hopefully, across the board that we'll get a little bit more respect in the industry, because we're not the last. No one should be the last, or behind the scenes or forgotten about. We do it, we do a lot.
Yeah. Agree. Oh, this has been good. I love your perspective. It's
Thank you.
refreshing. It's wonderful. So thank you so much for being with us. Now we're going to move on to what we call the Tease quick takes.
Yes.
So the first one is, what is a
Mhm.
quote that you love?
Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Fire.
I feel that. I feel that in your spirit too, with
Mhm.
you.
Yeah. Mhm.
What was the last thing that you searched on Google?
When is daylight savings time over?
Yes. All right. And it's Sunday. Okay. What is the cringiest trend you've ever tried?
The cringiest trend.
Yes.
What is the cringiest
I mean, do
trend
you want to go back to the airbrush Playboy
ever
bunny?
tried? But you know, okay, I
That
don't
was-
think that's cringy though, but I love it.
It was
Because
very
right
real.
now well, it is, yeah, because I'm totally watching the documentary right now. So like
Yes.
the Playboy,
You're in
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Let me see. The cringiest. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
To me, the cringiest one was the swirls.
I don't know what that is.
Like it was just swirls on every nail. And I did not want to see another freaking swirl ever in my life.
Wow. Like a full blown swirl or just like a curvy swirl?
Both, all of it. I can throw up.
Oh my.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just can't.
No,
Swirls
you
for
are
the
setting
girls,
trends
but
because
yeah,
that's everywhere in the feed right now, you know?
you
Ooh,
could
okay.
be a classic French person. You know, you could do a classic French. At this point, if you say the word swirl, I just feel like you're cursing at me at this point. Like you are insulting my artistry. If you sit in my chair at this point and say, I want a swirl, like I want swirls.
Mhm.
And I will continue to do your nails and I will, great, but I'm not putting any swirls on you. I mean, that's the most I can't.
That's so good. Okay, I love that so much. Okay. What animal are you most like?
A sloth.
Us? No. Just
Well, the
tease.
one from Ice Age.
I love that. So in the post
Only
office?
the sloth, like from Ice Age, because he's like, oh, you know, he's very genuine, very like ditzy, but just like slow. And sometimes like that's how I feel. You know, okay, so I should say the animated animal, maybe not in real life, because I've never
Okay.
actually seen a sloth in real life. But animated, I mean, if that counts, then yeah. I would say that because like you asked, you know, how long does it take? It takes however long it takes.
Right.
I can be
Yes.
so slow, you
And if you
know.
need to be
And
slow.
yeah, you know,
That's
I
what
don't
you're doing.
know. You know, I could be a little feisty. So what's that? Maybe like an ostrich, like a real one. You know, like have you ever gone to like the drive-in zoo? And the ostriches are the ones that are like following the cars and you can't ever get them away. Like, no.
And their
like,
heads are full in.
basically, like that's how I am, like with like nail polish though. It's like, here, don't you designs, yeah, like designs, you know, and you're like, get away from me, get away from me, get away from me. Yeah. So I would say that.
So good. Okay. And what is one product that you cannot live without? And it doesn't have to be a nail product. It could be beauty, hair, home appliance, whatever.
Products that I cannot live without.
Uh-huh.
Does your phone count?
It counts. It counts. Yes. It's very real.
My phone. Second would be my
Sure.
nails, but yeah, number
Yeah.
one would be my phone.
All
Can you
right.
imagine?
No. What would we
Can you
do?
imagine? Can you get through your entire day without your phone?
No, I don't think so.
Exactly.
Yikes.
Yeah, it would be the phone.
All right, your phone.
Yeah.
And then the last one, advice for those who want to make it to the top of our industry.
All right. Well, first and foremost, take me with you if you make it before me. Advice. I would say stay true to yourself. There's always going to be people out there that you think are genuine, and you might not get the most genuine advice from certain people. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. You just have to find out the way to do it.
Okay.
When someone says no, don't stop. They say no, you can't do it. Say thank you and keep going, and you find someone to help you, or you find that way to do something, you know, until you can find it. I would say be genuine, because just being artificial does not get you far. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
And find out what your worth is. Practice, 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 of course, but figure out your worth and be confident, because that's what's going to help you along the road, whether it's people that you meet in the industry or whether it's your own work. When you get artist block, keep going.
Keep going.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
And everything is not, social media isn't everything.
Yeah.
I think those are like the best takeaways. And the last but not least, you define your own success.
Yeah. So the top can mean a lot of different things, honestly.
Top can mean a lot of different things.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely a lot of different things. Everyone's goals are different.
Mm-hmm.
When you start to have goals that are other people's goals and they don't necessarily, in the end, don't align with you, and that's not your goal, you're going to be really unhappy in any industry.
Yeah.
You know, so my goals for my careers, maybe not the same as yours in your career. If you want to open up a salon and I want to travel, it's two different goals and two different things, and the way we have to go about things, and the, you know, what we need out of ourselves in our industry. And social media is great, but it is tough at the same time.
Yeah.
It can put you in a depression pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it in my own industry and across other industries. You know, if something is not liked quick enough, if certain, you know, if a certain number of likes hasn't hit like your photo, I've seen people delete a photo and repost it to get more, you know. And even working with brands, I would definitely say brands look at your following too. You know, and it's a lot of other people judging how successful you are,
right,
based on your social media following and how many likes that you have. So in the end, you know, if you're where you want to be and you're happy and you have your clientele or whatever it may be, you know, and you're doing things your way, I think that's the best. You're winning.
Yeah, you're winning for sure.
Yeah, you're winning.
I love it. Gabby, it's been so fun getting to know you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes, I love your spirit. I love your mission. I can see your passion. It is unwavering for nails. A nail anniversary. Dang it. I wish I would have trusted mine.
Well, you know what? It's not too late. You can always guess. You can always just be like, you know,
I can. What? You're right. I can guess. I may have to do that.
Always take a nail fee and then just like mash them all together, like be like, oh, happy 1 year nail anniversary. With my nails being this length, or like, yeah, we rocked it out, me in this shape, it's our anniversary, you know. Had a new shape, so like we officially go together, and like we're besties, and I'm not changing my shape for a little while, so until like she gets on my nerves and I'm not changing the shape, you know, things like that.
All right, I will never think of my nails the same.
Your nails are a part of you, right? Like think of like Fran, like Nanny Fran, like Fran Drescher, like, you know, if the accessories, like your nails, like they go with, like they're helping make or break. Like you cannot forget the nails.
Don't forget the nails. And that is where we will end. Do not forget the nails.
Do not forget the nails.